your host, Teacher Richard Supan.
Good afternoon, Super K kids! I am Teacher Kitrian L. Canlas, one of your learning buddies in this episode.
Together, we will take you to another fun and learning journey in our Super K Teleskwela. For this special episode, we will learn the different sound devices such as onomatopoeia, alliteration, assonance, and consonance. You are also expected to identify and analyze these sound devices in a text read. Am I right, Teacher Kitrian?
You are definitely correct, Teacher Richard. In this episode, we will also learn the importance of sound devices in poetry. This lesson will help us to appreciate poems.
Let's go, kids! It's time to start your learning adventure! Are you now ready to accomplish your first learning task? If so, listen well as we flash on the screen the activity you need to answer. Clap 2 times if the statement is correct. Snap your fingers if the statement is incorrect. Number 1. Alliteration is the repetition of consonant sounds at the beginning of the words in lines of poetry. Number 2. Assonance is similar to alliteration, except the repeated consonant sound can be anywhere in the words. Number 3. Onomatopoeia is a word or group of words that imitate the sound it represents. Lastly, consonance is the repetition of vowel sounds in a line or lines of poetry. Time's up, kids! Let's check your answers now. What is your answer in the first item? Correct. How about in the second item? You're right. You must snap your fingers because the correct answer is consonants, not assonance. How about in the third item? Very good, because the statement is correct. And lastly, for number 4, you got it right, because the statement is incorrect.
Good job, kids! You surely got them right. Give yourselves 3 claps. Kids, do you know that poems are pieces of writing that use imaginative words to share ideas, emotions, or a story with the reader like you? Many poems have words or phrases that sound good together when they are read aloud. Poems have sound devices that are used by poets or writers to make a poem interesting. That is why children like you enjoy reading poems because of their rhymes.
That's right, Teacher Kitrian. To help us understand better these sound devices, let's discuss and define them. The first sound device is onomatopoeia. It is a word or group of words that imitate the sound it represents. For example, the chirp, chirp, chirp of the wounded bird broke the silence. Chirp is the sound that describes the wounded bird in the sentence. Another example, the bees are buzzing around the flowers. The word buzzing is the sound that describes the bees in the sentence. The second sound device is alliteration. It is the repetition of consonant sounds at the beginning of the words in lines of poetry. For example, Sally sells seashells in the seashore. You will see that the beginning consonant sound of each word in the sentence is S. The third sound device is assonance. It is the repetition of vowel sounds in a line or lines of poetry. For example, May laid near the bay and stayed awake. The repeated vowel sound in the sentence is A. And the last one is consonance. It is similar to alliteration, except the repeated consonant sound can be anywhere in the words. For example, silken, sad, uncertain, rustling. The underlined letter in each word is the repeated consonant sound in the example.
Kids, were you able to understand the different sound devices? If so, get ready for your next activity. For your first activity, read and identify the sound device used in each sentence. Write the letter of the correct answer. Number 1. The pop of the firecracker wakes the whole neighborhood. A. Onomatopoeia. B. Alliteration. C. Assonance. Or D. Consonance. Number 2. I love to ride a boat at night. A. Onomatopoeia. B. Alliteration. C. Assonance. Or D. Consonance. Number 3. From somewhere far beyond, the flag of fate's caprice unfurled. A. Onomatopoeia. B. Alliteration. C. Assonance. Or D. Consonant. Number 4. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled pepper. A. Onomatopoeia. B. Alliteration. C. Assonance. Or D. Consonant. And lastly, number 5. The cows in the pasture mooed loudly. A. Onomatopoeia. B. Alliteration. C. Assonance. Or D. Consonance.
And for the second activity, put a check mark if the sentence uses sound devices, and a cross mark if it does not. Number 1. The sampaguita smells wonderful. Number 2. The big brown boxes are beside the bookshelf. Number 3. My parent is at the principal's office? Number 4. The black sack is in the back. Number 5. Peter's piglet prances priggishly.
When we return, we will reveal the correct answers. So, stay tuned after a short break.
Trivia time! Do you know who the father of Kapampangan literature is? It's Juan Crisostomo Soto, a poet and a journalist who was born in Santa Ines, Bacolor, Pampanga. His pen name was Crisot. He wrote many lyrical poems, historical dramas, plays, and zarzuelas. His most famous zarzuela was entitled Alang Diyos, or There Is No God. He also used sound devices in creating his masterpieces. Do you want to be like him? Well, familiarize these sound devices and write your own poems and stories.
Batang Kapampangan, super gang! Batang Kapampangan, super gang!
Welcome back, Super K Kids! Now, let's see if you'll get a perfect score by checking your answers.
For number 1, what is the sound device used in this sentence? The pop of the firecracker wakes the whole neighborhood. Correct! The answer is letter A, onomatopoeia. For number 2, I love to ride a boat at night. What is the sound device used in the sentence? That's right! It's letter D, consonants. For number 3, from somewhere far beyond, the flag of fate's caprice unfurled. What is the sound device used in the sentence? Yes! The correct answer is letter B, alliteration. For number 4, Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled pepper. What is the sound device used in the sentence? Yes! The correct answer is letter B, alliteration. And finally, for number 5, the cows in the pasture mooed loudly. What is the sound device used in the sentence? You got it right! The answer is letter A, onomatopoeia.
And for the activity 2, the following are the correct answers. For number 1, the sampaguita smells wonderful. Does the sentence have a sound device? Correct! The answer is a cross mark. The sentence does not have a sound device. For number 2, the big brown boxes are beside the bookshelf. Does the sentence have a sound device? Very good! The sentence is an example of alliteration. So, the answer is a check mark. For number 3, my parent is at the principal's office. Does the sentence have a sound device? That's right! The answer is a cross mark. The sentence does not have a sound device. For number 4, the black sack is in the back. Does the sentence have a sound device? Very good! The sentence is an example of an assonance. So, the answer should be a check mark. And lastly, for number 5, Peter's piglet prances priggishly. Does the sentence have a sound device? You got it right! The answer is a check mark because the sentence is an example of alliteration.
Did you get them right, kids? Congratulations for a job well done. Now that you were able to identify and analyze the different sound devices, let us see what we have learned. Can you tell what sound devices are? Sound devices are used by poets or writers to make a poem interesting. You really listened and watched attentively in our discussion. This time, name the different sound devices. The different sound devices are onomatopoeia, alliteration, assonance, and consonance. Knowing how to analyze sound devices can help us understand and appreciate poems. Poets and writers use their experiences and emotions in an imaginative way to create a worth-reading literary works.
Congratulations, Super K kids! You really did well in this episode. Did you enjoy today's episode?
We hope that you learned a lot from your learning adventures.
Don't forget the things we have learned from today's episode. Again, this is Teacher Richard Supan
And I am Teacher Katrian Canlas
from Santa Maria Elementary School, Mexico South District, your learning buddies. We will see you again in the next episode. More fun,
more learning,
and more experiences right here on Super K Teleskwela.